Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your man Hanley from On the Line With. We're on episode 83 of Car Chats, about to go live with Ran-Dee. He's coming all the way in from Australia, out of Sydney. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Sponsored by Diamonds Rising. As always, that's the sponsor. Go check the merch out. Hit him up. And yeah, we're about to go live with the homie Ran-Dee. And he's produced some joint for Ruste Juxx. We're going to talk about that. Talk about a few things. Alright, he's in the chat. He's going to send me a request. I'm about to get it. Let's go. Hope everybody's good. It's almost Friday. Well, it's going to be Friday in an hour for Ran-Dee because it's like 11 o'clock there right now. What's going on, brother? Come on. There we go.
What up?
Yo, what's going on, bro? Give me 1 sec. My fucking phone's all out of whack. Hold on a sec.
All good, brother.
I'm outside. I don't usually do them outside.
I'm saying, I'm wondering why you're not in the car right now. What's happening?
I'm sharing a car with someone right now, so like we're back and forth.
Word.
You know, sometimes I'd be in different spots. Sometimes I'm in the studio. Sometimes I'm here. But it was a nice day, so I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go buy some weed, and then I'm gonna fucking kick it and talk to my."
You can do that there. It's legal over there.
Yeah, bro.
You can do that.
Literally, the pot shop's right behind me. After this interview, I'm going to get blitz.
No. Lordy, Lord.
So,
Different
yeah.
over here in Australia. In Australia, they're still pretty backwards with it.
I don't understand why.
Change is coming. It'll be a couple of years.
I mean, you guys are the Commonwealth just like we are, so I don't know why you don't just follow fucking suit.
I mean, really, yeah. Like it's pretty crazy that we're still behind the 8 ball, but that's what's happening.
Queen's gone, so like we don't got to worry about it. But yo, so introduce yourself for everybody that's tapping in right now. Let them know who you are, where you're at, what you do.
Word up. My name is Ran-Dee. I'm born and raised Brooklyn, New York, but I live out here in Australia since about 2000. I run a agency called Joint Adventure. We've been touring international hip hop acts through the country since 2006. Whole stack of hip hop legends. Managed a whole bunch of kind of local legends and still managing some of them right now. Yeah, man. I also love beat making. I love MCing. I just love hip hop.
So how long are you? So you do more than just producing, then. So I'm learning shit about you right now myself.
Yeah, man. Look, I mean, I'm kind of, I guess, most known in the industry for the stuff I've done behind the scenes. Touring acts and putting on events and managing artists and stuff. But it's always been a passion of mine, the other stuff. So I just kind of been digging into that, having fun with it, not taking it too seriously, but trying to do some cool music,
Right. And so you've been in Australia since when, 2000?
Yeah, I've been out here since 2000.
So you're going on 22 years, 23 years.
Crazy. I mean, I was only supposed to be out here for a little bit, but I kind of got trapped, and I'm out here. It's been a long time, but it's a beautiful place to be trapped.
So how did you manage it? What kept you in Australia?
Well, I first moved out here because I met an Australian girl in New York. We hooked up. She got pregnant. We decided to come back here to have the baby, and it was only supposed to be like a temporary thing, and then head back to New York. And then, we split, and the rest is history. I've been out here ever since, and just kind of fell in love with the place. It's become my second home. And I was about to head home a couple of years ago, probably about 10 years ago. I was getting ready to kind of wind it up and head home. My daughter was getting older, and then I got remarried, and now I got twins in my second marriage, and another baby on the way. So man, I'm out here. I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, bro. Yeah. You pushing out beats and pushing out babies.
Ran-Dee by name, Ran-Dee by nature. That's what they say.
So, what got you into the beat making game? What like do you rap too?
Yeah, look, I've been kind of rapping, like I said, like for fun, for as long, for ages and ages. But kind of got a little bit more serious with it. With the day job that I got, I help run youth centers in Australia, and they're real hip hop focused youth centers. So I was always like rapping with the kids. They always want to jump in the studio and lay down tracks and do ciphers and stuff. So kind of been doing that, and then I think it's probably like 2018 or so, started messing around with making beats and just kind of went, man, why have I not been doing this for like, forever? Like, this is amazing. Just had a lot of fun with it and just kind of got stuck. And especially over that COVID break when there was nothing to do, just, I'm very blessed in the way that I got a studio at home. So I've been able to just kind of sit there and bang away beats when the kids are sleeping. And then just kind of like started hitting people up, going like, yo, let's make some music. And
because in the flyer I posted on the story with the track with Ruste Juxx, how did you get in contact with Ruste? Did you just hit him up?
Yeah, man, look, I think, I've been kind of connected very loosely with Ruste, a lot of mutual friends and stuff like that. I've taught a lot of people that are very close with him, and just kind of hit him up and just went, look, this is me. Check out some of my beats if you want to do some stuff. And funnily enough, like, I was actually mad surprised that the track that he chose was one that I did not think he would choose at all. It's got like a real kind of, I guess it's a little bit more of a new school vibe, real heavy 808 stuff. And I didn't expect him to pick that one at all, but that's the one that he chose. And he came back real quick with some amazing kind of fire on his end. And that was, then the rest is history.
Yeah, because I always tell, when I talk to Juxx, I tell him, yo, you always start your fucking track off with the hardest lines. Like, that first bar in that track is ridiculous. Like,
shoot a rapper on a moving train 50 kilometers away. Oh, man, come on, man. As soon as he sent me that stuff back, I was like, man, I love this dude. He's just always been raw like that.
Yeah, bro, when I heard that, I was like, I envisioned, I just saw like a laser scope and everything. I was like, this guy is talking some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, word up. And then, after kind of, sitting on the track for a little bit and, doing some mixing with it, my man Esper doing some mixing and mastering. And then we hit up my man 10th Dan, who's been doing some crazy animated videos. Because it was like, originally the plan was before all the COVID stuff, I was like, I'm going to go home. We'll shoot the video, this and that. And then, I got a couple of tracks in the works with some New York artists as well. And I was going to go home and just shoot a whole bunch of videos, try and get it all done in one hit. And then all that COVID stuff happened. I was like, man, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to get these videos out? So just started hitting up some animators, and just going like, let's do some animated clips. And, Dan did the first one for that Ruste Juxx track. And I think, I thought it came out fire. Some real cool.
Yeah, I liked it, bro. I really liked it. I was sharing it around on my podcast page on Facebook a lot after the interview that I did with them. And yeah, man, I don't know, that track, it just slaps right away. Once it starts, man, it's just.
Appreciate it.
It was definitely different from what Juxx usually will rap on. Like, he usually has that straight up New York grimy, like not to bring him R.I.P. but Sean Price like energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's just got that Brooklyn kind of boom bap, slap you in the face kind of vibe. And I thought he would choose. I don't know if I got many kind of instrumentals like that, but I probably had a few that were more on that kind of side. And I thought he would go in that direction, but I was like, okay, cool, you're gonna pick this one, let's go.
Word.
And just really impressed with the way he came back with it. We're actually working on a second one already, which I'm expecting him to. Like, he works pretty quickly. Like, he writes quick, he records, like, he's good with it. So I'm really expecting that second one to come back fire as well.
Yeah, I know he was saying his son's been shooting his videos lately. I
saw
that.
Word, yeah.
Rusted Power video was good. I liked it. And
yeah, man, he's been doing some really cool stuff. Him and his son been doing a lot of the video work, and there's not many people that grind as much as him. He's really impressive. Like, everyone that I've been speaking to is just like, the way that this guy works, I wish everybody worked that good. Like, he's just quick with it and just on point. He doesn't mess around.
Yeah, no, he has a quick turnaround time from what I've seen, man. Because like I was talking to him about the tracks that he had coming out, like the Rest in Power when we were talking about that a couple weeks ago when I had him on, and then I think what's it? The beginning of this week, the video came out, I think, or 2 days ago.
Yeah,
I think I forget, but yeah, it was a quick.
He's got that whole album coming out with 9 and stuff. Like the guy just drops tracks left and right. He's crazy with it.
Have you tried sourcing your beats to like anybody else out in Brooklyn, like OG or Royal Flush?
No, I mean, look, I haven't really. I mean, I've done a couple of tracks that are going to be coming out with some Australian artists. I got another track that's coming out with Smith and Wesson. I got another track that's coming out with Chris Rivers and my man Dialect, who's an Australian cat that's living over in the UK at the moment.
Dialect's pretty well known, right?
Yeah, Nelson Dialect, man. If you don't know him, check him out. He's been around.
With the name.
Yeah, he's been around for a while, hustling his way in Australia. Went over to New York, did some things over there with Red Apples, 45s. He's done some stuff with AG. He's done now he's over in the UK doing stuff with a label over there. Just always making moves and just always on that real shit.
Word. And so you said you also those youth groups that you're doing, you said are very hip hop focused.
Yeah, man. So back about 10, 11 years ago, I was doing like touring full time and working in the music industry. It was just kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know if you know much about that kind of business side of that stuff, but it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster
before this shit, man. I'm back in the studio next week, and I'm going to Montreal to get back in the studio next week. And I was saying to someone earlier, I was like, I need to try and find if I can get a Ran-Dee beat.
Let's go.
Word, bro.
Let's go.
It's been like 10 years since I've been in the studio, maybe longer, but I think that was long enough to get polished and back on it and change the vibe of my sound and shit. Because back then,
word.
It was all the Dipset like sound and type shit. I was on the Dipset vibe and shit, So like,
you're gonna have to send me some links so I can check out some stuff, man.
I'll send you the hidden link that only a few people have, but recently they've been sharing it, and I'm like, yo, you motherfuckers, man. your best friend will leak your shit.
Word. Yeah, I got some stuff from back in the day that I hope nobody ever finds. It's some embarrassing shit out there.
When I stopped making music, the shit I had on YouTube, like through other channels, I went and reported it all. So it got taken down. I was like, you guys don't want to take it down? Report.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, I'm an asshole, but I still put on a platform for everybody to come on. So I'm full circle. I might be an asshole, but I'm still doing good.
Yeah, good to hear, man. Good to hear.
So,
I've been seeing a lot of people coming on the show, bro.
Yeah, bro. I got Royal Flush coming on soon. I made that flyer today. I sent it to him. It's to be announced. We're not sure when it's going to happen, but soon, hopefully, because I figured I interviewed Ruste first, then I hit up Illa, and they're all touring in Montreal a couple months ago. So I was like, I want to get the 3 perspectives from them all and find out how each of them felt while they were performing. You know what I mean? And
yeah, word.
The one question I asked was someone was like, yo, ask them about a weird moment or an awkward moment or a strange moment that's happened when they were touring. And they're like, yo, we were in Belleville, and they expected us to stay in a cabin in the woods.
I heard. Yeah, I remember that in the restaurant.
And they both said the same thing so far. They both said, nah, fuck that. Let's not stay in no cabin in the woods.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
there's some things when you're touring like that you'll let slide, but there's some things you just got to kind of pull up and be like, nah, that's not happening.
I could just imagine them all chilling in the ride while they're driving there, following the car where they're going. And they're like, yo, what the fuck we at? Because I know Belleville, bro. It's definitely anything with a ville at the end of it in Canada. You're going to a strange place.
Oh man, I'd love to get over there one day, over in Canada.
Bro, if you're ever out here and you're in my neck of the woods, either Ottawa or Montreal, let me know. We can link up, kick it, do an interview in flesh. But I just want to say, everybody that's tuning in right now to the show, if you're not following Ran-Dee, give him a follow. Check out what he's doing. If you're not following me, follow me. If you need an interview, hit me up. But I want to get back to the So you only started making beats in 2018?
I think it was about 2018, 2017 maybe that I started messing around with it. Yeah, so it hasn't been like for a really long time, you
I
know.
mean,
But
artists like Ruste and them already on joints of yours. It proves that like you've kind of not, I don't, so long it's not long enough to say you mastered it, but your beats are fire. Don't get me mistaken. I'm not
appreciate
saying that you
it,
might have
appreciate it, bro.
mastered it, but I'm saying you're getting into like
Definitely haven't mastered, bro. Definitely haven't mastered. Always a forever student, eternal
for
student.
life. That's
Um,
it.
and you know, like I know for a fact the way that I make beats sometimes is like very long and kind of like I watch some of my homies who have been producing for a long time and they whip it up real quick and they just like fire, fire, fire. Yo, my shit takes forever, bro. Like I'm still in the early stages learning, you
You're
know.
elevating though, bro, and you're getting into the right corner pockets and shit. You know what I mean? It like you said, you were doing the tour thing behind the scenes thing, so you know how a lot of the shit goes when you're trying to get projects done.
Yeah, I've been a fan. I've been a fan of hip hop music for as long as I can remember. I come from Brooklyn. It's been around me. It's in my DNA.
It's
Like
hard not
I've
hip
been
hop, bro.
touring artists and working with some of the I mean people that I grew up. Me and my friends grew up bowing down to. I've had the honor of touring them halfway around the world, and doing some amazing projects over the years. So like getting into the creative side was once I figured it out and I was happy with the stuff that I was making, it was real easy to make those connections because I had built them up on the back end of working behind the scenes for so long that that kind of stuff came easy.
No,
And knowing how to market and promote and all that kind of stuff, which is actually quite different when it's your own. Like I've been doing that for other artists for since early 2000s,
yeah,
but trying to do it for yourself is a whole different thing. Like
yeah,
promoting
bro.
yourself and bigging yourself up.
You're speaking for yourself instead of speaking on behalf of someone else that you're trying to get touring.
Straight up.
So I feel that. Like I said, so being in the hip hop scene myself a decade ago and coming back now, like shit's changed a lot, you know what I mean? So I'm very apprehensive of the shit that I'm planning on recording. I'm very apprehensive on like, is this going to sound too old school and just fall flat on people because so many people are still like, they're like, it's backpack rap, and I'm like, yeah, but can you do it?
Yeah, but you know what? When it comes to art, like if you're talking about the business, that's a different story. If you're talking about like how to make money and how to be a businessman, different story. But when it comes to art, you just got to do what feels good to you. You got to not worry about what anybody else thinks. If some people are going to gravitate to it, some people are going to hate it. That's art,
How
bro.
it
Like
goes, bro.
I don't care. The biggest artists in the world got people who hate their shit and people who love their stuff, and the same is going to be for anybody that's just getting started. You got to do what feels good in your heart. And if even like one person gets touched by that and loves it, that's cool. Like,
and that's the thing. Like that's why I do the Instagram series where I interview artists. It's a platform. I let anybody come on. I don't care if they're new or if they've been 20 years or more, like Ruste and like Illa and them. Like, but this platform is made for just people to come promote their stuff and showcase their stuff. Because 10 years ago, I remember how hard it was, and the only platforms you could get on were either a television screen if you're lucky, or you can get a radio station, and even that was like fighting tooth and nail. Because if you're not ready to send like a press kit, or if you don't have radio edits, then you send them the shit, and they're just like, we can't do nothing with it. So on to the next man. But now there's so many fucking platforms that people are using that they're just constantly putting out stuff. So I'm like, well, why not promote that stuff? Give them a free platform. Because everybody's like, yo, I'm going to charge interviews. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to charge people to talk to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I paid in when I was in hip hop. So I'm not going to go around and do the same shit. But then I have the other full length type podcast that I do that focuses on art and mental health and mental illness, which is surprisingly a combination I didn't think would mix the way it did. But the stories you hear on the full length podcast are just incredible. Like that. Well, I won't say incredible because they're actually very sad and emotional sometimes, but they're incredible to hear that artists, some of them at the caliber they're at. Like I have some legends from Canada that have been on like Chalk Lair and people like similar to Chuck Lair, and he's a legend. He had a crazy story. If anybody wants to see that, you can go to the link in my bio. It's episode 12 of season 2, I think. Yeah, he's season finale. So yeah, and the mental health talk is just, it's like a safe space for people now. You know what I mean? So like they hit me up. I'm like a hood therapist.
Look, it sounds very much similar to what I do for my day job. So, I manage a youth service. We've got at the moment eight centers around the country. Chuck D cut the tape to start it off. We've had KRS there. We've had Dead Prez there. It's a great service where kids come, recording facilities, and beat making, computers set up with Logic Pro for beat makers, and audio, learning audio engineering. We got kids learning graffiti. We got all kinds of stuff going, and it's all like real hip hop kind of focus. But it's we've got counselors there that give access to anybody who needs counseling, and it's an AOD service, so it's anybody who's experiencing issues with drugs and alcohol, and it's all for young people between the ages of 10 and 25. And that, I've been doing that for 10 years now, and that's become like as much of a passion as the music stuff.
Sure, man. And I feel the same way about when I talk about the Full Length podcast. When I have those interviews, like I'm just amazed at how open people are. Sometimes, like most of the time, I'll open up myself first and explain like what I deal with and stuff, and then they feel like, okay, well, if he's honest, then I can be straight up too. You know what I mean? Because I'm very I'm an open book, and people tend to be like, yo, you're too open, and I'm like, well, I mean, what else am I gonna do? Lie about my life? Like, I can't.
No, you got to do what feels good for you. So I mean, and the thing is, like, when it comes to various forms of mental health, it's like everyone's dealing with something, and I think artists especially, is like, I mean, I think we've all seen the power of music and the power of creativity to really help with a lot of that stuff. There's been moments at my day job where we've been in the studio with some young kids, and the stuff that comes out, they don't even feel comfortable talking about it with a counselor at first, and it's only through the process of writing lyrics and doing music that these kids just kind of open up like a book, and all kinds of stuff comes out.
Yeah, and I've witnessed that myself with people that I've been with, if they're writing and stuff, and I'm like amazed that like you could open up on your lyrics, but it's different when you're trying to talk to a person one-on-one, right? You know what I mean? It's just, especially if you know the person, you know what I mean?
Straight up.
Yeah,
man.
So to hear that you do the youth group thing, actually, I'm glad to hear that, because I feel like a lot of countries are lacking that type of support for people that are trying to create.
Man, we never had that when I was back home. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I never had that place where I could go and make music and chill with youth workers and counselors and stuff. It just didn't exist.
Exactly, and it's still very rare in places nowadays. Like you'll have one or two here and there, you know what I mean? But a lot of times it's all people trying to apply for grants, or it's people trying to open these type of businesses, but they get knocked down, and they're just like, nah, we have this resource already. And I'm like, yeah, but that resource is a fucking chat bot that you text. You know what I mean? Like, it don't work.
I do want to say a major shout out to my man Phil Drummond. He's amazing. He's got a what do you call it? Organization that he started called Today's Future Sound, and he goes around the world, but definitely like a lot around the U.S. And runs beat making workshops for kids. Like, check them out. They're on Instagram. Today's Future Sound. The work that they do is amazing, and I think there's a lot of orgs out there now that are doing it, but there's definitely a need for more. I think everyone's realizing the power of kind of hip hop in this context to educate and to heal and stuff, and that's what it was originally started for. It was party stuff, but it was also about trying to deal with some of the chaos.
Facts. And So if today's future sound, it sounds like someone I'd want to collaborate with. I try to get him out here and do something like that because I have
I'll link you guys, bro. I'll put you in touch on the back end, man.
for sure
Yeah,
something
he's
I
super
want to
cool,
do
bro.
because there's so many youths out here that are trying to like get into the scene, but like I said, there's no organizations really like yours where you're providing the tools and the resources to actually make music or make beats or whatever the case they want to do. You know what I mean? And I've been trying to figure out ways to do that, and like with the way shit in my life is going on right now, and a lot of people know what I'm dealing with on the outside of all this happy looking Instagram bullshit, but they know what I'm going through, so it's hard to maintain both. You know what I mean? Like I got the family life, and then I have to keep consistent as much as I can on here, and then I'm trying to do other things on the back end. But it's crazy how many people I see trying to get into the scene, and they're so discouraged because they just can't find the resources to do it. You know?
Yeah,
And
yeah. I mean, look, it's
when those kids give up, you don't know what you've just lost. You know, they could have been next up, or they just could have been someone that just inspires people consistently.
Oh, bro.
You know?
I mean, I don't know how kind of familiar you are with the Australian hip hop kind of landscape, but the crazy thing is like a good chunk of the kids that are blowing up here right now have all come through our youth centers. It's just like it's amazing. It's amazing to watch, man. Like these kids, some of them come in with not much experience at all. And then before you know it, they're playing festivals, and you're like, "Whoa, what's happened here?"
Exactly, and I want to just shout out VV Top that's in the conversation right now. Drug Profits, Southwest Music Group. Don't rest until greatness. That's the abbreviation for that is the drug and then profits. So shout out to them. I'm going to be in Montreal next week, and I already talked with VV Top, and they know I'm going to be there, and we're going to chop it up. We're going to do some interviews. But yeah, shout out to them, Drug Profits and Southwest Music Group. They're doing a lot of things. I had an interview. I don't know if you've checked any of the other ones, but I have an interview with an artist named 14 Dav. He's from Montreal. He's very dope. Fucking just the first track I heard, he came off sounding like Nipsey Hussle, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, spirit went into this man.
Beautiful.
Definitely, it's great to see, man. It's great to hear like music that is being put out because they feel confident, but because of people like you who are doing things like you're doing, things like Drug Profits do around Montreal, where they're showcasing people everywhere. I'm trying to do the same thing with this. I mean, it's not as big as I'd like it to be, but I also don't really care about numbers. Because, like you said before, as long as it hits someone, that then I've done my job. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Me the other day when I said it to him, I'm like, it's not. Thanks for coming on the show and I know it's not the biggest podcast, and he was like, yo, don't talk down on yourself ever. I'm like, yo, see, these are the type of guys who understand. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Long. They've learned a lesson through whatever situations they've had to go through, like the whole story about Illa doing the 2 joints with Mobb Deep, leaving and getting locked up the next day.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
He has a 6-year bid, gets out, and he's completely changed his outlook on everything. And like that's just the way it goes with some people. Some people get locked up and they learn, and some people get locked up and they don't. And that's just the way society is. You know what I mean?
I think that that goes for a lot of things. One thing you kind of and navigating and meeting people is like some people experience things and it pushes them to do the opposite. Some people follow in that footpath, so like some people grow up and they experience domestic violence with their parents, and then all of a sudden they find that they're hitting their wife. Some people experience that and would never put their hands on anybody because that's what they watch and that's what affected them, and it goes the same for a lot of different kind of traumas and stuff that we've been through in life. You either follow the path and do the same shit and keep it going, or you learn and you kind of go the opposite way.
Yeah, and speaking of, to go back to like Australian artists and hip hop, I believe he's a bigger name in Australia. I'm not sure where in Australia he's at, but I think it's Concept. Have you heard of him?
Yeah. I've heard of Concept. Yeah.
He's dope, man. He works a lot with Mercules. That's from Surrey, BC, in Canada. I know that.
And there's a lot of dope artists out here, and I think that there's like the landscape of Australian hip hop has changed so much in the time that I've been here. I've watched it like change completely. You know.
Shout out DJ Maz, that's my guy, man. Hope he's
What up?
doing well.
What up? What
So,
up? What up?
like everybody joining, we're on Instagram. Well, sorry, we're on car chats, and I'm not in the car today. I'm sorry, but I'm on car.
Nobody's in the car. I was gonna go. I was actually gonna sit in my car,
you know what?
just to kind of like even it up.
Every time I'm gonna do an interview, I'm like, all right, yo, I'm ready in 10. They're like, yo, do I need to sit in the car too? I'm like, no. You don't. And you know, the whole idea of car chats isn't just because I'm sitting in the car. That has nothing to do with it. The reason the car chats is when you're driving around with somebody and you're talking to them, you kind of bounce on different subjects, and depending on the energy, you know what I mean? It's just different subjects.
As long as you're paying attention to the road, you know what I'm saying? That's what matters.
You're talking about everything in the car, man. It could be from whatever's happening with your shorty, or it could be whatever's happening in the music studio, it could be whatever happened.
I mean,
like,
I do like the fact that you're outside, so you're not like hotboxing it right now with your ciggy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's better. A little bit healthier being outside. Yeah.
I usually hotbox the car with my cigarettes. Yeah, I've done that quite a bit, but that's because I don't smoke my joints in the car. Because if I do, the person I share it with is like, bruh. He comes to pick up the whip and he starts taking it. He's like, man, calls me. He's like, bruh, it smells like kush. I'm like, shit.
No good. No good.
Stop at all the red lights. Stop at all the stop signs. What are you complaining about? But yeah, so you said you had KRS up there. You had Chuck D cut the red tape. What was that like?
Yeah, man, that was an amazing moment for the service. You know, so their first one opened up in 07, I believe it was. And Chuck D cut the ribbon, you know, to put on a performance with Chuck D, and DJ Lord was here with him.
Legendary.
Which is pretty crazy for like a hip hop kind of youth center. To have Chuck D there was a blessing, you know, an absolute blessing. And then, you know, when KRS made the journey out to Australia, and you know, he doesn't fly, so my homie, who's the promoter that brought him out, had to put him and his family on a boat, and they took a boat from. Yeah, man, they took a boat from the U.S. to Australia. I think it took like a month or whatever. It was crazy.
That promote.
Yeah, that was crazy. But KRS came out and did like a full speech at the center and stuff like that. Had, you know, all the kids could come, and media was there and stuff, and that was pretty amazing moment for the center as well. And then since then it's really grown. So it's gone from like one center out in Liverpool, New South Wales, to now having like 8 centers around the country. It's pretty cool.
And so, do you have guests like that come a lot, or is it like on special events?
Not as often as we would like. You know, I think there's a lot of touring artists that, you know, like it's hard as well when you. I know what it's like when you're on tour, especially in Australia. It's usually like show after show, you know, kind of thing. They come in, they come out. There's not a lot of time, so they don't get time to do stuff like that. You know, like even the ones that would want to sometimes can't, and then sometimes, you know, dudes just, it's not really their cup of tea, and they focus on the shows. But yeah, we've had some great ones. We took a bunch of kids to meet DOC once, which was pretty cool, through my homie Sam. Big up Sam Dowd. Yeah, there's been some real kind of cool moments over the years. We got to have all the kids performing at the Sydney Opera House. We did like 3 sold out shows at the Sydney Opera House, which was pretty amazing for those kids. Like, yeah, there's been so many moments over the 10, 11 years that I've been working there that have just been pretty crazy, inspirational moments for me.
Since you're showing off, talking about all the legends that you've had there, I'm gonna talk my shit. We're gonna have MC 8 soon. I contacted 8, bro. Like, so, you know, we're going OG Compton, bro. We're bringing them out. That's gonna be dope. And
that's sick.
Yeah, man. Like I've just been you know, like people are always like, yo, how do you get these people on your show? And I'm like, bro, I honestly just hit them up. It's the worst I'm gonna get is a no. You know what I mean?
Exactly. All you can do is put yourself out there. You know, people are either gonna be like yes or no.
I've never been worried to be dismissed or just rejected or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? Trust me, bro. When I was younger, I was a lot fatter than I am now. I'm used to rejection. So, you know, now I just hit them up. I just tell them straight to the point, like, yo, if you're down to come on the show, let me know. We'll set a time and date. Let's do it. I'm down. And I hate
and his work. Like, I mean, I've only kind of been aware of the show since you had Rusty on, and then since then I've been kind of watching some stuff and keeping an eye out. And even since then, you've had some amazing guests on. So it's working, and it's something you should be proud of, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man, and I appreciate you tapping in and checking it out whenever you can. I know, like you said, you're a busy man right now. You got to stay in Australia because now you got kids and you can't leave. You trapped.
Bro, I'm always busy. I'm always busy, but busy, like, for me, busy keeps me out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? So, it's always a blessing for me to be able to be, working. Like, I do my day job, I finish my day job, and then I run my business at night. So I'm usually up all crazy hours, and I sleep like 4 hours a night, something like that. And looking after the kids and doing all the family stuff, fitting in there. So there's a lot going on, but for me, like, that's how I live my life, because that keeps me out of trouble, and it keeps me focused on achieving kind of things that I want to achieve.
Been there so long, you got your fucking Brooklyn accent and your Australian accent mixing up.
Straight up. I speak to people back home, they hear Australian. I speak to Australian, they hear New York. I'm like lost in the ocean somewhere.
You just lost in translation, brother.
That's all right. Nobody knows where I'm from.
It's unique. I'll tell you that, bro.
Yeah, mate. Oh, yeah, I can put on the Australian, mate. Yeah. I'm here with Canada.
Yeah. And I'm just out here in Canada saying A and sorry. I'm just like, welcome to the show. Sorry. Like, what do you have planned for anything big coming up that you could talk about? I know you said you have a track with Smith & Wesson coming out. That's fucking dope, because they're just in Montreal.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the next drop, is the joint with Smith & Wesson, which it's actually, it's Smith & Wesson and DJ Total Eclipse from the Executioners. Dope. So I manage, I work very closely. I manage DJ Total Eclipse out here. I book his shows and stuff. And I've been working with him. I've been working with him for years. And
on my show.
Oh man, yeah, I could definitely speak to him about getting on the show, 100%.
You might have you might have to try and help me out with Smith & Wesson too. I tried messaging Tech the other day, but his Instagram don't take messages from certain people, and I'm like, God damn it, why'd I have to be one of them people?
Nah, yeah, that could be the hard one. Like those guys are a little bit harder to get hold of. Even for me doing the track with them, it's been a little bit more of a kind of, I guess, a professional relationship, than what I've been building with Rusty on the side, kind of thing. They're super cool, like such good dudes, man, and the quality of the work that they put out is amazing. Like Smith & Wesson. Oh, bro, like, oof,
crazy. Yeah. Same thing with Rusty, man, and all of them. Illa, Royal Flush, man, their longevity in the game is amazing, and they've been consistent.
There's a reason why they're still here. You know what I'm saying? Like people like that got that kind of work ethic. That's why they're still here. This many years later. But I'm real excited for that track. Like I'm real excited to drop that track. It's kind of like an ode to Brooklyn. Which is where me, Total Eclipse, and Smith & Wesson all come from. And that's pretty exciting. And then after that, I'll probably drop that Chris Rivers and Nelson Dialect track. And then we've got the follow-up with Ruste Juxx going to be dropping as well. And then I got a couple of like local Australian artists I'm working with as well. And we'll see what else pops up in that time,
And any of those artists that you work with, like the Australian artists out there, if they want to promote or they want to showcase, bro, you know where to send them.
Word, appreciate it, bro. Definitely.
And any of the kids that are out there at that youth group, bro, anytime they want some promotion or showcase time, just let me know, man. I'll help them all
100%.
out.
100%, man. Really appreciate it.
Collaborate on helping the youth, bro. That's what it's about.
And the opportunity for, like, one thing I love about hip hop, man, is like, I always talk about this with the kids at the youth center. Is like, my homie Morganix, who's an artist out here, had this thing about like hip hop is his passport, and it's kind of always really stuck with me. Of kind of like, it's an amazing culture where, I honestly feel like I could go to any country in the world and have a couch to sleep on. It's really opened up a lot of doors and lets you meet people from places that you might never ever get to. And this is another example here where I'm like, if I ever come to Canada, we're linking, and if you ever come to Sydney, we're gonna link up, kind of thing, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of this culture, of kind of like, I could hop on a plane tomorrow and go to some European country I've never been to before, make a few phone calls, and have a couch to sleep on.
Sure, and like in the hip hop, like within the hip hop scene, there's so much. You see so much of like I don't know how to put it. You see so much of the tension between artists and like just how many artists that we've lost in the last like 5 years, bro. And then like as much as hip hop is unified by bringing people in from outside of like the clique or wherever it is, and then bringing them in, it's so much different these days. I found like it used to be very just everyone stuck to their crew, you know what I mean? And now they're trying to unify and open up, but there's still that tension between people. I don't know what it is. I don't like saying it's music.
I mean, look, for me, that's always been the difference between like hip hop and rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're talking about industry shit and that really like, money making shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, there's gonna be all that BS involved with it, But when it comes to hip hop and the culture, it's all about love and kind of like meeting like-minded people and doing amazing shit,
Exactly. And I've always said when I was younger, I used to say there's a lot of people don't always agree with me, but I always said there's a difference between a hip hop artist and a rapper.
Straight up.
Straight up. And like people are like, well, they're the same thing. I'm like, yeah, they might rap on beats, they might drop lyrics on beats, but is it truly for the love of hip hop, or is it because they're trying to get some fame and stardom? Is it for the art, or is it for just appearance?
And bro, I'll tell you, this is the big reason why I got into youth work. When I was doing all the touring and all that stuff, like, of course, like there was some amazing moments of kind of like mind-blowing shit going on, but it kind of like lost that kind of community element that meant so much to me with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I started getting into that youth work side of thing and feeling like I was closer to hip hop than even when I was doing all that touring with like major artists and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
word up. So when that Smith & Wesson joint drops, do you have a date?
Nah, no date for that one yet, man. I really just want, like, I haven't like, first of all, we're still mixing and the video is still getting done. I got my homie doing the animated video for that one. That's going to be amazing as well. So I'm waiting for that before we set a date. But also, like, I really just want to put the time and energy into this Ruste Juxx track. I feel like there's a lot more life in it that a lot of people haven't heard it yet. So I didn't want to like be too quick with it and then drop another track and really put the energy into the next joint until I felt like we've done what we could for this one.
Word up. All right, so let's do this then. When that Smith & Wesson joint's gonna drop, let me know a little bit in advance, and we could come on here. Maybe we could just play the track or show the video on as a promotional type thing.
Bro, of course, man.
But definitely, bro,
course,
like I was saying, anytime you have any artist or anybody you want to come on, or you want to come on and promote something, you just hit me up. We'll set it in. We'll lock it in. And yeah, man, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I know it's late there. I'm gonna let you go and get your 4 hours of sleep.
It's early for me, baby. It's early. I still got work to do. It's early.
And I'm telling you, bro, I'm going to hit you up about some beats, man. I'm going to send you that link like you see with my old shit like, and then we're going to figure something out for sure.
Where anybody that wants to hear the beats, I got a whole stack of them online that anybody can kind of check out. And there's more coming. There's plenty in the hard drive that needs to be finished off before it's put up. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. And if you got any Canadian family coming over to Australia, holla.
For sure, bro.
I'll try and link you up with the right people and show you a good time over here.
Definitely, bro. When I'm back in the music shit, I might hit you up, try to help me get some fucking shows out there.
All right.
All right. So yo, everybody that's in the chat right now and whoever's watching this later, make sure if you want beats, go hit on my man Ran-Dee. Go check out The Chosen with Ruste Juxx, produced by my man Ran-Dee. He has a new track with Smith & Wesson dropping soon. We'll probably have something about that when it is dropping. And yo, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate your being candid, honest, straight up. I appreciate what you do for the youth out there. I appreciate what you've done for the culture, what you're doing for the culture, what you will do for the culture. And I want to just say, man, episode 83. This has been one of my favorite ones in the last few whiles. Like with you, Ruste, Illa, you know, they've been dope. And don't get me wrong, all the other artists I have on, they're great interviews. But it's when I learn shit like this that I didn't know is what I love, you know? Yes, Brooklyn in the house, but Brooklyn via Australia.
What up, KG? What up, KG?
So yeah, man, episode, is it 83? Yeah, episode 83 with my man Ran-Dee. I appreciate you coming on, bro. Anything you want to say before we go, let them know, and I'll do my outro just after you're done.
Man, I think I just want to say, everybody have a beautiful day, have a beautiful week. Look after yourselves, look after the people around you, look after everybody, and you know, enjoy yourselves. Smile more.
Yeah, I try, bro. I'm trying. But yeah, everybody, episode 83 with Ran-Dee. I'm your man Hanley from On the Line With. This is Car Chats. Any artists that want an interview, hit me up. We'll lock in. We'll figure something else, set it up. Anybody that wants beats, go hit my man Ran-Dee. Keep doing the shit for the culture. You know, you never know where you're going to go, who you're going to meet, and what you're going to do. And I appreciate it. Like I said, you coming on, man. Anytime you want to come on, hit me up. And like I said, I'm going to try and hit you up. We're going to figure something out. Maybe I'll be out there sooner than they think.
Word. Salute. Much love to all the Canadian family.
Salute, bro. Have a good day, man. We'll talk soon.
Peace.
Peace.